So, you're buying your first ocarina? Let me help you get started. When you're starting out any new skill, whether that's learning a language, playing an instrument, or learning a sport, the initial learning curve is really tough, and the initial information curve is one thing that makes that tough. So, if you're looking for your first ocarina, it can be really hard to know where to look. First of all, if you're searching Ocarina on Google, you're probably finding search results related to The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time. I don't make the rules, that's just how it is, and that's what people are searching for when they think about ocarinas in English-speaking countries. Once you can filter past the results pertaining to Ocarina of Time and just find stuff about ocarinas, the instrument, you have another hurdle to cross. Which instrument do you start with? Back in the days before the current global situation, you would probably find your first ocarina at a convention. If you go to like an anime convention, like Anime Expo or wherever, chances are the dealer hall has an ocarina booth. And the ocarina booths at anime conventions are 9 times out of 10 reliable companies, absolutely no problems. You'll have a good time with an ocarina you get there. You might be upcharged to get an ocarina that's fancier than you need to start with, but you're gonna get a reliable ocarina at least 9 times out of 10. However, in the current world, you can only shop on the internet for ocarinas unless you live in a country where music stores sell them. In the United States, I would not trust the ocarinas you would find at most music stores. So in your search for ocarinas, you might find really nice Zelda replicas, very complex triple ocarinas for advanced players, gigantic ocarinas for ensemble play, pendant ocarinas, which are a fair place to start, but a bit less user-friendly than your average 12-hole. And if you search on Amazon.com, you'll probably find very cheap Ocarina of Time replicas. And if you haven't seen my video on those, don't buy them. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the struggle. Just run away. Don't buy Ocarina of Time replicas on Amazon unless it is a vendor that you trust, like STL or Songbird. So you have all these options. You're like, where do I start? What ocarina do I get? Oh, geez. I'm not going to tell you all the vendors you should look for. I'm not going to give you an overload of information. I will give you a quick, actionable step. If you're buying your first ocarina, and you don't care about it being a Zelda replica, and you want something that works, and you don't have to worry about breaking, I would recommend getting the plastic Knight by Noble. This one right here. I've always recommended the Knight by Noble as a starter ocarina because it is reliable, and if anything is out of tune, you know that that's a you issue that you can fix rather than the instrument having tuning issues, because these things are consistent as heck. Like, the instrument will not hold you back in any way, shape, or form. And it has a great sound for a plastic ocarina, almost as good as, if not better than, a lot of my ceramics. So, funny story, I've recommended this ocarina for a very long time, for all the reasons I've stated, and I only just got it today. I haven't owned this ocarina until now. And now you might be thinking, Andy, why do you recommend an ocarina you don't own? I have bought it before. I gave it to my host family in Japan my first time studying abroad there. And I was like, okay, I play the ocarina. This will be a really personal gift. I mean, I don't think they've touched it since I got it for them, but they appreciated it. And I got this because it's the perfect starter instrument for a budding musician. Anyways, the one that I have is a slightly different model. It's the same tuning, close to the same fingering, the same shape, slightly different finish. This one's shiny rubber, whereas the other one is more plasticky and hard on the outside. Basically the same instrument, but it's not the exact model that you can buy on Amazon. So I've compared this version to the one that I've used for years, and it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm not a fraud. I just haven't owned the instrument until now. I'm saying the sound quality is great, so let's just do a quick demonstration right now. We'll do a scale and then play Serious Song, because that seems to be what I always do to test out an ocarina on this channel. So let's go. Awesome. So I do highly recommend this ocarina, but it is not perfect. There are two things to consider. One, the breath pressure. You can play it with a medium to even high breath pressure at some points, but you can overblow the high notes. So if I'm playing the high F, this is with low breath pressure. This is with high breath pressure, which is how I like to play. It gets sharp and it whistles and it kind of breaks the pitch. It's really not that big of an issue because it's something you can really easily adapt to, but nevertheless it is something to be aware of. The second thing is that Noble Ocarina, they tuned their ocarinas to be A equals 444 hertz. The global standard is A equals 440 hertz. So that doesn't sound like that big of an issue, but the thing is these ocarinas will be slightly sharper than most instruments you have. So that is another reason why you'll want to have low breath pressure with it if you're playing in an ensemble setting. There are two reasons the Night by Noble is tuned to be A is 444 hertz. The first being, in South Korea, tuning standards could be different, such that A is 444. I know that there are some places in the world where that is the standard, and it's also factual that over the years, tuning for what frequency equals what note has shifted to be a little bit sharper over the centuries. So that's one reason, differences in tuning standards. The other reason being that in South Korea and Japan, ocarinas are a very popular hobby for the elderly to pick up. And the thought process being that they might have lower breath support given their old age. So it might be that if they tune A to be 444 and they expect people to underblow, then the result will be that it's in tune in a global sense. I don't know the exact reason, but that's what I've seen in discussions about it. Those are the only two possible drawbacks I can see with you purchasing this instrument, but this instrument is so solid. The price tag is a bit steep for a plastic ocarina at $40, but that's also because it's imported from Japan, which is then imported from South Korea. You're also paying for the premium of not having to worry about an ocarina that works. You're getting an ocarina that works with this. You don't have to research, you're getting a good instrument, and you can have full faith that if you buy the Night by Noble on Amazon or even their own website, you'll have an ocarina that works, and it's not going to be that expensive. So if you are looking to play the ocarina, whether as a hobby or even take it on as a serious instrument, the Night by Noble is your perfect place to start. There are other great starter ocarinas, like the plastic ocarinas available from STL or Songbird, but I would recommend the Night by Noble over this simply because it's just... I've had great experiences with it. Everyone who I know who's gotten one would recommend this instrument, and it just works. That's why I recommend it. It just works. I keep emphasizing how reliable the instrument is because having a reliable instrument to start is so important. As I talked about in my video about the cheap Amazon Ocarina of Time replicas, if the instrument doesn't work, then you'll be discouraged and quit playing. So if you get an instrument that works, you're not going to be discouraged because if you're hitting the high notes and you're thinking, wow, these notes are really out of tune, that's probably a me problem. Then you're gonna give up. That's just how it goes. And we don't want people to give up playing the ocarina. We want our community to grow. So getting an instrument that's reliable will allow you to not have this problem. You'll get the instrument, you will struggle at first, but you will improve, and the instrument will not be something that holds you back if you have the Night by Noble. It is tough to buy your first instrument. It's tough to jump in for any new skill, hobby, whatever. The information curve is a lot. So I've done that work for you. I recommend the Night by Noble. There's a link in the description. It is a solid instrument. It is a little bit pricey for a plastic ocarina, but you are paying for that reliability and to know that if there are any mistakes, that's on you and not the instrument. If you're buying one of those cheap Ocarina of Time replicas on Amazon, it'll be really easy to think that these notes, I just can't hit them. I can't work them right. I'm a bad musician. And that can be really discouraging to new players. So if your ocarina works, you won't have that problem. You may be discouraged by the fact that it's a new instrument. It takes time to learn. You can learn the basics for the ocarina very quickly, but it does take a long time to become proficient at the ocarina. That's why you should start with a reliable instrument, Get one that works. Get The Night by Noble. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you're curious about the technology I use in my videos and my streams and whatever, I put together a compiled list in the description. It's on andycormier.blog. I figured that if I'm going to be putting all the tech that I recommend in my descriptions, that'll get clogged up real fast with a lot of links, so I might as well just link to a blog post that has everything. The post shows the camera gear I use, the streaming gear I use, and the ocarinas I recommend. The ocarinas I recommend will be the fastest growing list, but this list will be periodically updated, so if you're curious, go ahead and check. Just FYI, it is Amazon affiliate links, so if you do choose to purchase anything through those links, it does help support the channel, which is greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Bye! Is The Night by Noble. Get it.